Hello DIYers, today we're doing an oil change on a 2024 Toyota RAV4. While this is the non-hybrid model in front of me, the steps are the same for the hybrid and should be good all the way back to the 2019 models. With just over 1,500 miles on the odometer, we'll be doing the classic break-in oil change. This kind of oil change isn't strictly needed these days, and my personal recommendation is just to change the oil every 5,000 miles. Here's all the parts and tools we'll be using today, and if you know what you're doing and are just hoping to find specifications, that will be on the screen now and in the description below along with links to purchase. And if that's all you needed, I hope you like and subscribe on your way out. Thanks so much. And let's get started. I'm using a scissor lift today because it's just easier for filming, but ramps or jack stands work just fine too. The jack points on the RAV4 look like this one here on the front driver's side. The other corners have similar points. If you're lifting the car with the jack, this front one is all you need. And definitely use a jack stand for safety. And if you want to use car ramps, my older videos have them, so check out some of the Highlander oil change videos. For the purposes of this video though, these mid-rise scissor lifts are perfect, even for a garage with 8.5 feet ceilings like mine. And before we prep the car to lift, let's pull the hood release inside the cabin, which is located here. There's a secondary latch under the hood. Just feel around the center and it'll pop free. Let's finish setting up the lifting blocks and raise the car. I produce all my videos solo, and I like the security of the scissor lift rack as it lowers the chances of a vehicle falling. You can see my previous guides if you want to see examples of ramps and jack stands. Feel free to chat me up in the comments too if you have questions. I'm always happy to help. The location of the oil cap and dipstick is here. I like to loosen everything first as it helps to drain the oil faster in the next step. Also in the engine bay is the oil specification, which is a 0W16. Everything's also in your owner's manual, which I'll show you later. Underneath, you'll see an under panel hiding the oil pan. Luckily for us, the RAV4 has a pretty manageable panel you can remove to service the vehicle. The panel has 4 bolts that can be removed by using a 10mm or a Phillips head screwdriver. I'm using a 10mm socket here. Once the panel is removed, you'll see the drain bolt right away. And if we shift the camera a little, here's the oil filter tucked away up top. Toyota actually made this one easier than some of their older models. Using a 14mm socket will crack loose the drain bolt. If you're lucky, it's not torqued down too badly. Once it's loose, you can spin it off the rest of the way to avoid covering your ratchet in oil. And now we'll just let the oil drain for a few minutes. Now that it's finished draining, we'll swap in a new crush washer on the drain bolt. Toyota does recommend a new crush washer every time, but from my experience, the washers tend to be reusable at least once. The drain bolt is torqued to 30 foot-pounds. My fancy torque wrench here is just so that the video clearly shows the torque and makes fun beep. If you don't have a torque wrench, don't worry, just get it tight and about another quarter turn or so. And we can move on to the oil filter. I'm using the Motivix cap wrench here because it's not coming off my hand. Sometimes you're lucky and it's just on hand tight. Now we can install the new filter. I actually recommend the OEM filter, and the part number is YZZN1. The best part about Toyota filters is they come with a pre-lubricated rubber gasket, so you can just spin it on without having to prep the filter with a little oil. The filter only needs to go on hand tight. Basically, turning it as tight as your oily hand can turn it is enough. Make sure you don't over tighten so that your future self can remove the filter without a filter wrench. And now let's double check the owner's manual. This RAV4 needs 4.5 quarts of oil total. Also interesting is that Toyota's dipstick, at least this RAV4 one, says that the min and max lines represent 1.5 liters of oil, or about 1.6 quarts. If you forget this, just use the rule of thumb that the dipstick represents 1 quart of oil between the min and max line. Back at the engine, we're using a 0W16 weight full synthetic from Mobil 1. Their advanced fuel economy formula is apparently suitable for hybrids, but we mostly just want to make sure that it meets ILSAC GF6B standards, which it does. And again, the RAV4 needs 4.5 quarts of oil. We're going to pour 4 quarts in first, and the rest after we run the engine. Before putting everything back together, give it a quick check underneath for leaks. If everything's clean, then we can reinstall the under panel. We'll fast cut through this since it's the same steps as removing, but just in reverse. We'll also lower the car to make sure everything is level. Technically, it's level on the lift, but we'll do things by the book. Then we can fire up the engine and let it run for 30 seconds to circulate the new oil into the filter. And now let's turn off the engine and wait a minute or so to let the oil settle back down. Then we can check the dipstick again. We're a little low as expected, so let's add about a half quart more to top it off. Once everything checks out, we can close the hood securely. Make sure you listen to that satisfying thunk of a job well done. And now there's only one more thing left to do. Let's reset the maintenance reminder light. This RAV4 makes it super easy, and I'll show it on screen. If your maintenance warning is still up like it is here, hit the return button to cancel the message. Then with the left and right buttons, navigate to the dash menu. From there, scroll to vehicle settings And then with oil maintenance reset highlighted, hit the OK button in that menu. Done and done. And that's it. I hope you found this oil change guide for a 2024 Toyota RAV4 helpful. If you did, any combination of liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting helps tell YouTube that my videos are worth watching. If you have other Toyota models, some helpful videos should be popping up now. I'm Alan, and this is Metaloop. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.